She was the best mom anybody could ever ask for. My mama, she woke up every day and went to work for us. My mama died trying to take care of us.
This tragedy started when Harris reportedly sent an employee home early, and that worker allegedly came back and attacked her.
Jennifer Harris had worked at McDonald's for 15 years. She knew that restaurant better than most people know their own homes. She knew her crew, the morning rush, and she knew exactly what needed to happen to get through a busy shift. That morning, she made a management decision, a routine one she had made before. She sent an employee home. The employee left. And then, about an hour later, she came back. What happened in that restaurant in the next few minutes is when everything went wrong. This is Crime on Buzz. Before we get started, leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you won't miss out on cases like this.
But to get sent home 2 days in a row, man, and I came in on my off day to make up my time, and she still sends me home early, it's not funny. Somebody will have to do something about that. It's not funny. It's not fair. It isn't funny at all. So, she could keep being a bully if she wants to, but that is going to catch up to her. Because it ain't funny at all. It ain't.
Jennifer Harris was 39 years old, a single mother of 6 children, and a McDonald's manager in Eastpointe, Michigan. Everyone who knew her called her Jama. She had been with that same McDonald's location on 9 Mile Road for 15 years, longer than some of her coworkers had been in the workforce. She was the kind of person her family described as selfless and hardworking, someone who would give you everything she had before she considered keeping it for herself. Raising 6 children alone on a single income is not easy. But Jennifer showed up to that restaurant every single day because those 6 kids were counting on her.
Papa worked prior to like I said, Papa worked even a thing at McDonald's isn't good for us. She could have. Mama, like I said, she don't do that. She came down. She was tired. Yes, she was tired. And she still woke up every day. My mama left and came back. I was the one who told her to come back to McDonald's. Because it worked out for our family, it worked out for us. And she was happy here. She was a manager.
Jennifer had worked her way up to manager over those 15 years. She was responsible for her crew, the smooth running of the restaurant, and for holding her staff accountable when things were not going right. That was not just her job. That was what 15 years of investment in one place looked like. Now, 26-year-old Afeni Badu Muhammad was one of those employees. She was an Eastpointe resident who had recently started working at that same McDonald's under Jennifer's management.
Watch this. So look, let me tell you this so you can do it yourself too. What you gotta do is, okay, we have a water bottle right now. So let's focus on the water bottle. I see little tiny water drops. Okay? I see tiny little water drops of the bottle. What you're gonna do is look at that one tiny water drop on that bottle. And you're gonna imagine yourself jumping in a pool. Jump in that tiny pool. So you have to imagine you're shrinking yourself to jump in that tiny little pool. Because atoms, you can't see the atoms with the naked eye and the electrons and all of that. But they're here around us, surrounding us. They're in the air. So you have to imagine a bunch of tiny little dots just flying around everywhere. And now I see them making a big shape. They're making 2 big hands and they're just pushing a bottle.
Afeni had built an Instagram following where she spoke her mind openly.
I asked them, like, they're gonna give me to talk to like a social worker because I told them that I'm interested in like getting a house and like, I told them that the guy I live with, he stresses me out and stuff, and then after what he did like yesterday, it kind of it just like kind of like went over the line at this point. Like he handed me the knife and told me he told me to him. And then I said, "You can yourself, like you're crazy." Like I don't know if I should have said it like that, but that's just like what I said at the moment, because it's like, I'm like, I was like, "You're crazy, you need help, you." That's what I told him. And then I had walked away. But it's like, everything is fine now and stuff, but I think that kind of triggered my anxiety attack, because when I woke up this morning, I started having an anxiety attack. I started having like butterflies in my stomach and my heart was racing fast.
Afeni was reportedly homeless at the time she was working at that McDonald's and had been sleeping in her vehicle. Before she started at McDonald's, she had been working as a house cleaner, but that did not last long. She posted public videos on her Instagram, venting about her clients.
So I cleaned the house. It was only a 3-hour job. I really needed like 6 hours to clean that house. It was like cobwebs and everywhere. I did the best I could with it. But it was just when I got upstairs to that bathroom, man, that was traumatizing me. I was like, you know what? I ain't stressing myself out. I'm going to do what I can. And whatever I can't scrub up, it's going to stay there. And I let the lady know I scrubbed what I could, but, some stuff ain't come up, But, other than that, it was pretty smooth. Like, I got there a little late, but, I left on time, because I'm like, I'm not staying extra. She's like, you sure you don't want to stay extra, clean the other bathroom? I got to drive 30 minutes to the other client, so I don't have time for it. You can rebook me, though. So okay, I'll rebook you. I'm like, thank you.
She also had a prior criminal record. In March 2022, in Virginia, Afeni had attacked her then-boyfriend during an argument. She was charged with felony malicious wounding, which was later reduced to unlawful bodily injury. She received a suspended sentence and served probation. But here's the thing. None of that history was visible to Jennifer when Afeni joined her crew. What Jennifer could see was an employee with performance issues and an attitude that made the workplace harder for everyone around her. Coworkers described Afeni as difficult to work alongside. She would reportedly film herself in the stockroom and in other places during her shift. She would go into the McDonald's play structure, meant for children, and spend time there while she was supposed to be working. On one occasion, she played the recorder loudly while blasting her own music during a shift. Jennifer documented these issues. She wrote Afeni up for poor performance and sent her home early on multiple occasions when her behavior became too disruptive to ignore. But Afeni did not take any of this as a professional correction. She took every write-up, every early dismissal, every redirect from Jennifer as a personal attack. And rather than address her performance or find a different job, she turned to social media. Her Instagram became the place where she built her case. The first public complaint was when Afeni described being wrongfully treated at work, said she had been physically tapped on, and her name had been called repeatedly, which is entirely standard in any fast food kitchen. She said she was being sabotaged so that her buttons would get pressed. She ended that post with, "Let the universe show them what's next, because it wasn't right. It was ridiculous, and there will be hell to pay for that without a doubt." After that, she kept posting.
I was wrongfully treated today at work. I was literally physically tapped on a lot of times. My name kept getting called. I was doing a great job. I kept getting sabotaged, tempted so my button can get pressed and I can go out of character. Because I know that I'm a great person, and I know I won't be tolerating that.
On July 8th, 2025, Afeni posted 2 videos to her Instagram account that day. In the first one, she was wearing her McDonald's hat, sitting in front of the camera, and she was upset.
But to get sent home 2 days in a row, man, and I came in on my off day to make up my time, and she still sends me home early, it's not funny. Somebody will have to do something about that. It's not funny. It's not fair. It isn't funny at all. So, she could keep being a bully if she wants to, but that is going to catch up to her. Because it ain't funny at all. It ain't.
In the second post from the same day, she went further, accusing Jennifer of creating a toxic environment, of making certain comments toward her, of gossiping and bringing negative energy into the restaurant.
I got sent home early yesterday. I got sent home early today by the same person. I'm telling you, she's a bully. This isn't funny. She needs to understand that just because she's a mother and got children doesn't mean that she can come in the store, you know, disrespecting people, talking to them like everybody's beneath her. She has no respect. And it isn't funny at all. Like, seriously, man, I got shit I take care of. And she keeps sending me home early. It's not funny. She's playing games. And then all day, throughout the day, she keeps sending her little racial shit. And then throughout the day, she keeps on, like, putting negative energy in the air, talking about people, gossiping about people. It's not funny, man. That's gonna have to stop. She's a bully. I'm telling you. She's a bully. She brings a lot of negative energy in there. She always panic when there's a lot going on, and then she try to manipulate that and make it seem like we ain't doing something right, but we are working really hard and doing great. It's just the fact that she panicked, and I caught her a few times making a mistake, and she tried to hurry up and play it off. You know, nobody's perfect. It's McDonald's, it happens. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like, somebody might get confused, so it gets busy, yeah. But she needs to stop playing like she don't be making mistakes. I be catching her. So all that animosity and that she keep putting in the air and stuff, and then trying to tell me I'm always snapping on people. No, that's false. No, I don't snap on people. I don't go in there doing that. I tell her, no, I make peace. That's what I'm doing. I've been creating peace. So all that negative energy that she's bringing in there and trying to manipulate it, no, that's going to stop. All that negative she's saying about, you know, her personal life, all of that. No, she's bringing all of that in there and then playing games saying she want to take her belt off and beat somebody. Y'all act like my kids in here. No, we ain't your kids. Respect us. Stop talking to us like that. That's crazy. I'm telling you.
Notably, not a single coworker corroborated Afeni's characterization of Jennifer. The people who worked alongside both of them described the tension in that restaurant as coming from Afeni's side, not Jennifer's. On July 10th, 2025, Afeni started her shift. Jennifer was there, managing her crew, the way she had always done. At some point during that shift, Jennifer noticed Afeni was not performing her duties. She reportedly clocked Afeni out through the restaurant's app. Afeni did not know immediately, but she found out when she checked the app herself and saw that she had been clocked out without being told directly. That discovery set off the confrontation.
She seemed very irritated, and she started off by saying, "So you clocked me out without telling me." And she kind of repeated it. She repeated it twice, and after she repeated it, Jennifer said something, and after that, that's when she said, "You know, you reap what you sow. I'll be back. You better watch your back."
She walked out, and for about an hour, things went quiet. Jennifer went back to managing her restaurant, while the crew went back to work. Nobody knew what was about to happen. According to Afeni's own account, she had driven to a skate park, skated, listened to music, and sat there thinking about everything Jennifer had been doing wrong.
Did she say anything racist to you today?
No, she didn't say anything like that. The only thing she said to me was, "But you can fight right now." And then I was like, "I'm working my shift today." Like, you know, I didn't do anything wrong.
Did you leave after she told you that?
No, I stayed. I started working my shift, so I stayed and I just kept working. Nobody came over there to see me because I just continued to catch everybody else. But then I just happened to look at the app and see that I actually clocked out. I didn't know she clocked out at 6, and I didn't even know I was working. And then when I had that, I didn't know you clocked out. You didn't even tell me that I was not talking to you, so I didn't know you were doing.
So what did you do after that? Did you leave?
Yeah, I left. I said, "This is wrong." I said, "You keep bullying me. This is wrong."
Where did you go?
I went to the shopping, then I had drove. I went to skate park, skated a little bit.
Okay,
So it was after I left, they were like, "Come on."
So how long were you working for you?
I was in 1 hour.
Oh, okay. So she got you out at 6, you said, and you know what's the job about?
Yeah,
No,
I almost did it.
Okay. So you also skate park. Okay.
Yes, and then after that,
That's when I just started looking for a movie, and I started prayer. And I started thinking about like how she, everything that she was doing that was so wrong.
Now, being clocked out without a direct conversation would frustrate anyone. But what's unsettling is what she decided to do about it. Afeni retrieved a kitchen knife she had in her vehicle, put on a hoodie with a built-in zip-up mask portion that covered her face, and drove back to the McDonald's. She did not go through the front door, but went around to the back employee entrance. Delivery driver Luke Moreno was near that entrance when she walked up. He looked over and saw a figure in a mask approaching. Afeni looked at him calmly and said, "Don't worry, I work here." Then she walked inside. Jennifer was at her station, prepping food for the ongoing rush. She had no idea what Afeni had planned to do. Afeni moved toward Jennifer without hesitation. There was no argument, no confrontation, and no words exchanged. She attacked Jennifer from behind, striking her repeatedly. Coworkers who witnessed it scrambled. One employee described trying to intervene and being completely unable to stop it. Even when Jennifer collapsed to the floor, Afeni did not stop.
New video on what they say is 26-year-old Afeni Muhammad, her face covered with some sort of mask, a large knife hidden under her arm, walking into the back of the Eastpointe McDonald's on July 10th, where she and her manager Jennifer Harris worked. Prosecutors say Muhammad was sent home earlier that day by Harris for slacking off. She later returned, allegedly stabbing Harris at least 13 times.
Outside, in the drive-thru lane, a customer named Devontae Pace had been sitting in his truck when he heard the commotion inside. He initially thought it might be a robbery. Then he saw the masked figure through the window and saw what was happening. Devontae was a licensed firearm carrier, so he aimed it in Afeni's direction and fired.
Saying something like, stop, 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 hold on, stop. Nobody was budging, I didn't see anybody else trying to stop him or break him up. I produced my firearm off my hip, pointed it at her. Once the commotion kind of calmed down, everybody stopped running. I did take a shot at her.
Afeni ran for the exit, but Devontae followed her outside. He held her in the parking lot, keeping her there until Eastpointe police arrived and took her into custody.
So this lady right here, when the driver, I just got my food, and out of nowhere, the person who passed me my food just started getting stabbed up in the neck with the kitchen knife. So I said, "Ma'am, please stop, stop, stop!" Everybody in there running crazy. So I jump out. I said, "Ma'am, stop!" She turned around. She turned around. She looked at me. I let her shot her. She runs out here. I come around here from this side. She falls on the ground. I tell her, "Don't move until the police get here." So I just don't want to get
Jennifer was rushed to the hospital, but she did not survive her injuries.
Police say that stabbing happened near this drive-thru window behind me, and they say a customer who was in the drive-thru stepped in and stopped the suspect from fleeing the scene before police arrived. We've now learned that the victim was a mother of 6. Employees described the terrifying moments inside a McDonald's after a worker attacked a manager with a knife. Police say the employee had been in an argument with the manager that ended with her being sent home.
She left for 5 minutes. She came back with a mask on her face and the only thing I seen was her hands. That's how I knew it was her.
Family of the victim identify her as 39-year-old Jennifer Harris. She was stabbed multiple times before a customer in the drive-through line intervened, holding the employee at gunpoint until officers arrived.
He had her sitting down there about in the parking lot next to a vehicle, and he had the gun pointed at her. That's when police and all them rolled up.
He did the right thing. He showed, so to speak, heroism, and we really appreciate his assistance because, like I said, otherwise we would have a dangerous criminal right now in public, and we would be looking for her, but who knows what else she was gonna do.
Family of Harris described her as selfless, a hard worker who worked to provide for her 6 children as a single mother.
She was the best mom anybody could ever ask for. My mama, she woke up every day and went to work for us. My mama died trying to take care of us.
Her children now in shock at how such senseless violence could have ended their mother's life.
A hard-working woman, so kind. If anybody needed help, she would give you her last, give you the shirt off her back. She did not deserve that at all.
When police took Afeni into custody, they had her remove her hoodie as evidence. She was taken to an interview room. Afeni was calm, composed, and answered questions directly and without visible distress. When she was asked whether she felt remorse, she said she felt better.
Where'd you go to high school at?
Courtroom High School in Maryland.
So you have your high school diploma, right?
Yeah, it was actually in my folded inside my desk where it was his
So you know how to read, write, spell, all that. Smart girl, aren't you? Smart. What did you know? A's. What's your favorite class?
I like Italian because I like I can learn this language. You know a little Italian?
Little. That's totally Okay. We're going to get down to business. How hard is it going to be? It's going to make you better. Okay. Where do you work?
I work
in Boston. Was it located in Eastpointe? Have you done anything today? Prescription medication? Sleep last night?
Yeah.
How many hours?
I was sleep at like 8 hours.
Okay, about 8 hours of sleep. Okay. Where did you sleep?
I slept in the shop because I didn't have enough money for the hotel. You know,
What do you do at McDonald's? Are you
I prep food and then also I'm basically customer service. Perform excellent customer service.
Okay. Were you working today?
I was.
What time did you start?
At 4 a.m.
4 a.m.?
I clocked in at 4:02 a.m.
Who is your manager there, or who is in charge of you?
Today it was Jennifer Harris.
Jennifer Harris?
Yes.
Okay, do you have any sort of issues with Jennifer Harris?
I had an issue with how I had to clock out 3 times in a row just because she was bullying me with no reason and me out. And she clocked me out without me knowing. I was working for free.
Was this today or was this prior?
That was today.
Okay, so has any time prior to this day today, did she make you clock out or not pay?
Yes.
How many times?
It happened just missed the third time this week.
Third time this week?
Yes.
And can you tell me why do you think she's doing that?
I think she was doing that because I had spoke up to her and I felt like trying to figure out what the thing was sometime last week. It was Friday, I'm not sure, but it was I had told her that racist shit gonna stop. That's why I had told her because I got tired of how she kept on like acting like prejudice or like she was like and they were there also she was calling she was there.
So let me ask you this, can you tell me what kind of racist comments that she's thinking towards you or anybody? Give me an example.
Yeah, like, so sometimes when they look at their phones or something, and like, it was one time, the guy they find his shoulder, someone's phone was like a Caucasian girl, she had like about 5 and she was like, that's Katie White D, and that's what she had said, and, you know, and then every time.
So Katie White D, so B meaning bitch, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Has she ever used any derogatory remarks towards you? Give me an example of what she would call you.
She said that she was blood one time to me, and she said she wanted her gun or her children, but it just like made me feel like I got like scared of her, and so she's a bully kind of person.
Did she say anything racist to you today?
No, she didn't say anything to me. That the only thing she said to me was, "You can clock out now." And then I was like, "I'm working my shift today. Like, you know, I didn't do anything wrong."
Did you leave after she told you that?
No, I stayed. I started working my shift, so I stayed and I just kept working. Nobody came over there to relieve me, so I just continued to catch everybody else. You know, and then I just happened to look at the app and see that I actually clocked out. I didn't know she clocked out at 6, and I didn't even know I was still working. And that's when I had said, I didn't know you clocked out. You didn't even tell me that I'm not talking to you. So I didn't tell you to leave. So
what did you do after that? Did you leave?
Yeah, I left. I said, this is wrong. I said, you keep bullying me. This is wrong.
Where did you go?
I went to the shop and then I had drove and went to the skate park and skated a little bit.
Okay, so
it was after I left, I like someone who.
So how long were you working for you then?
I worked 1 hour.
Okay. So she got you out at 6, you said, and you know went to the downtown?
Yeah,
I
was 8 o'clock.
Okay. You went to the skate park?
Yes, and then after that, that's when I just started listening to my music, and I just started prayer, and I started thinking about like how she, everything that she was doing that was wrong.
Did that piss you off? Okay, so at some point you returned to the McDonald's, right? Okay. What did you have? How did you injure?
I had a knife and I walked with her and I stepped her.
How many times? Do you remember? Where'd you stab her at?
Her neck area.
Did you want to kill her?
I did. It's not good to say that.
I can't hear the
That's how you
response.
felt.
Play that back, please.
How many knives did you have?
Area.
Did you want to kill her?
I did. It's not good to say that. That's
how you felt. How many knives did you have on you? Can you describe the knife that you stabbed her with?
French knife.
Well, explain what a French knife.
It's a sharp knife, like it.
Is it long? Okay. Did you walk up behind her? Did you guys argue? And you just walked up to her? Show me how you did it. You walked up to her and you just started doing what? Show me how you did it. You can stand up. It's okay. So I'm Jennifer. Show me.
Okay, so I had it wrapped in my shirt.
What color?
Yeah, I had it wrapped in my shirt.
That's a shirt. Is that the one that you had on? And then so I'm Jennifer, and you have the knife in your hand. I need you to show me how you do that. Where did you do it like this? Show. It's okay.
Like this.
Did you start doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. Do it where on my body. It's okay, honey. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Did you stab her on the stomach? Or just stab?
I don't know. I might have.
So, you mentioned somebody, you heard a gunshot.
That's why I started doing, say, hey, ow! And then I get up, and I actually got shot. And so I get up, And I said, I'm just like, I get behind like the prayer rack, and then I'm hanging out the side door, and then I'm back and out and around the building. And yeah, that's why I said, turn around. And then I was like, I said, she's looking at me, she's like, okay, turn around. And then just turn around.
So the blood on your hand, it was.
It came from the jacket, went into the house.
You think it's the blood?
Yeah, I believe it was because I didn't get shot.
Right. Where did you get the knife? Was it?
I had brought it from Walmart. I had another cake I was going to bring here, but I'm here to start it.
When did you buy it?
I brought it when I brought the cake yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you bought the knife at Walmart?
From Walmart.
Has this lady, has she been bullying you for a while, or is this was just a 1 or 2 or 3 times?
She's been bullying me for a while.
Does she do that to other employees?
She has been bullying. It was one of the girls she recently stopped messing with. Because now I guess I turned out to be what she wanted to bully, but she has been bullying me for a very long time. She played her little gangster music, and there, she don't like how I play classical music. She doesn't go me. I'm not like her, and she's always saying comments like, I know we all supposed to look out for each other, same color, and that she would say things to like other coworkers, and then the day before yesterday, she talked about me to one of the other coworkers. She was like, she pissed me off because it was, sometimes customers hold me up at the window, and it like take a long time, and they hold the time up, and then they start like yelling at me, but it's like, sometimes I can't rush the customer, I think they're looking for their money, so.
Well, just so that I could get like an idea of where your headspace was when you were stabbing her, well, how did that make you feel?
I can be honest.
Yes.
It sounds wrong.
Yes.
Okay, I felt that it's supposed to him because I felt like I feel like she had like people under oppression. It wasn't her free. She was going to be in there. So that's how I felt when I was seeing it. And I felt really if that's what I'm supposed to get, and that's what and if somebody want to take me down, then I would do my best to fight in this situation.
What about now? Do you feel remorse or relief?
Like you said, like
do you feel bad about it? Remorseful that you did it, or you feel relieved? I feel relieved that you did it.
I feel better.
Feel better?
Yeah, but I'm not a cold person. That's why I sound crazy to understand that. I'm being honest.
So you feel like the weight of the world?
I feel like she was drugged to people. She kept talking about her gun she had.
Have you ever seen it down there? How did she ever pull it out and point it at anybody or say, hey, come here and check out my piece, or, piece me? No. It's just what we thought in her head at the time, right? Because of the way that she talks, like, she's a gangster. You know what I'm saying? On blood, on this, and blood, and gang, right?
Yeah.
What color is the head going? Do you know where it's at now? So you left it behind the store? Did you, after the shot was fired, what did you decide, letting it happen? Did you?
No, I had up when I heard it hit the rack, and then up, and then I kind of caught on the floor, and I ran out to the other side of the door, and then once I ran to the shop.
And then what?
That's when the guy had walked out with the light green yellow shirt on. It's like a neon shirt.
What kind of truck do you have?
It's a 1500 Silverado 2021.
So truck?
But it's Wayne's truck, Wayne Fisher. Like we shared the truck. Like we're kind of, he's 60, we just turned 61. Because basically we were living together.
Is that on
yeah, we were gonna go together because, it was like a lot of things to take care of. So we stopped, working with our papa, but he's like they fired him to do somebody had to do.
The next day, Afeni appeared before Judge Kathleen Galen at 38th District Court in Eastpointe via video conference from the Macomb County Jail. She was formally charged with first-degree premeditated charges, carrying a dangerous object with unlawful intent, and a habitual offender second notice designation, the latter stemming from her 2022 Virginia conviction. Afeni's defense attorney asked the court to set a reasonable bond that his client could meet. The prosecution pushed back, pointing to the nature of the attack. They argued there was a very high likelihood of conviction, and that releasing her posed a direct threat to public safety. Judge Galen reviewed the charges, the circumstances, the prior criminal history, and the factors under Michigan court rules. She set bond at $25 million, cash surety only, with strict conditions attached if she could somehow post it: a GPS tether, no leaving the state of Michigan, daily check-ins with community corrections, daily substance testing, no contact with Jennifer's family or any witnesses, and a ban on returning to the McDonald's. Afeni remained in Macomb County Jail.
Detective Showers, please approach for the swear-to. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the information being provided is true and accurate to the best of your information, knowledge, and belief, subject to penalties of perjury?
I do.
Put your hand down. With regard to the defendant, Afeni Muhammad, please set forth the factual basis for the warrant request.
Yes, Your Honor. 7/10/25, McDonald's employee Afeni Muhammad stabbed McDonald's manager Jennifer Harris multiple times with a kitchen knife at the McDonald's restaurant at 179219 Mile. Harris was not armed at the time and died of her injuries. Prior to the stabbing, Muhammad was sent home by Harris for not performing her work duties and told Harris, "I'll be back." Muhammad was arrested on scene and the knife was recovered. Muhammad admitted that she intended to kill Harris and stated that after she was sent home, she drove to a nearby park, decided to come back and stab Harris with a knife that she had inside of her vehicle. When Muhammad returned to stab Harris, she entered the back entrance with a hooded mask over her face in an attempt to conceal her identity and attempted to flee the scene after the stabbing, but was stopped by an armed customer.
And the requested charges are murder in the first degree, count 2, dangerous weapon carrying with unlawful intent, and there's a habitual second notice offense. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
The warrant is being signed and we can proceed to arraignment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Calling file number 25354, People versus Afeni Badu Muhammad. Counsel, appearances for the record, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Sean Hagel, on behalf of the people.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Please, this honorable court, Matthew McConaughey, on behalf of Mrs. Muhammad, who does appear via Zoom.
Your name, please, ma'am?
Afeni Muhammad.
Very good. You're here today for arraignment on the charges of murder in the first degree, premeditated, count 2, carrying a weapon with unlawful intent, and a habitual second notice. Mr. Licata, how does your client wish to proceed?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. At this time, my client is asking the court to enter a not guilty plea. This matter set for a probable cause conference at the preliminary exam. I have advised my client of her rights, as well as the charges against her and the potential penalties. We are ready to proceed on those grounds.
Very good. Ma'am, do you understand the nature of the charges against you to your satisfaction after talking to your attorney?
Yes.
Very good. I will go ahead and enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Are you requesting a court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
I will appoint an attorney to represent you. We'll set this matter for a probable cause conference on July 23rd, 2025 at 1 p.m. The preliminary examination will be on July 30th, 2025 at 1 p.m. As to bond, Mr. Licata.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Just briefly, my client is 26 years old, does live in the great city of Eastpointe. Your Honor, my client is a high school graduate. In fact, is actually taking and was taking some online classes for college for a physical therapy degree. Your Honor, there are some disturbing facts in this particular matter, but there are facts that haven't been brought out yet, and my client is extremely anxious to have those facts brought to light during the pendency of this case. She was in an extremely abusive relationship that was not only mental but physical, that involved alcohol issues, which is where the habitual second stems from, and her prior record. Your Honor, my client is a helpful person. She's a giving person. She's actually is credited with saving a life because of a 60-year-old who had skin cancer that she may go to the doctor to find out that that's exactly what it was, and that person is doing extremely well right now. I understand the facts that have been laid out today in the warrant, but at this time, Your Honor, we are asking the court to consider a bond in this matter that is appropriate, that my client can meet so that she could meet with her attorneys and prepare her defense in this matter. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of the people?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Pursuant to court rule, the court is well within its authority to grant no bond involving any case involving murder. In this case, we are requesting no bond for this defendant. Also provided within the court rules are certain factors for this court to consider when determining whether to grant any bond at all, and in this case, we are requesting no bond as I indicate. First of all, the court can consider whether or not this defendant is a threat to the community. She entered a public building with other individuals, other employees that were present. She produced a weapon that was a knife longer than 3 inches, and she stabbed the victim multiple times, up to possibly as many as 15 times, eventually causing her death. There were other employees that were present at the time, some of which attempted to help the victim after the stabbing occurred. That alone is enough to show that there is a threat to the community. She then ran from the building to her vehicle, presumably with the intent to flee from the scene. She was stopped by a helpful bystander. You're also able to consider the likelihood of conviction in this case, given the facts as laid out by Detective Showers and the information that the prosecutors have reviewed in order to charge this defendant. There is a very high likelihood of conviction. And then finally, the defendant does have a prior instance of at least one that I'm aware that involved a stabbing, similar obviously to the stabbing that occurred in this case involving a knife. So given all of those factors, and given the fact that this court does have authority to give no bond to defendants charged with murder, I am asking at this time for no bond in this case.
Thank you, counsel. The court has reviewed the charges and the circumstances surrounding this case. The defendant is facing various serious charges, including murder in the first degree, which is one of the most serious criminal offenses in our state, carrying penalties up to life without parole. Additionally, carrying a dangerous weapon with unlawful intent further underscores defendant's potential threat to public safety. Defendant has a prior criminal record out of Virginia for malicious wounding. It was actually felony malicious wounding that was reduced to unlawful bodily injury concerning a stabbing, and that is what gives rise to the habitual second. And in determining bond, the court must look to the factors outlined in Michigan Court Rule 6.106. Number 1, the seriousness of the offense and the danger posed to the community. The charges here involved a violent crime with a weapon, indicating a substantial risk to the public. The court finds there is a significant threat to public safety, and therefore the bond must reflect that risk. Number 2, the weight of the evidence against the defendant. While the evidence is not fully before us and the defendant is cloaked with the presumption of innocence, the nature of the charges along with the prior criminal history suggests that there is substantial evidence against the defendant. Defendant's criminal history: the defendant has a violent criminal past. The history supports the court's concern that the defendant may engage in further violent conduct if she is released. The defendant's ties to the community: while the defendant is relatively young at 26 years of age, there's no indication that she has any significant stabilizing ties to the community that would ensure her return for court appearances. Without these ties, the court is concerned about the likelihood of flight. Number 5, defendant's risk of fleeing or failing to appear. Due to the severity of the charges and the habitual offender status, it makes the defendant a high risk for flight. The court finds that this factor weighs heavily in favor of a high bond amount. Substance abuse or mental treatment: although there are no reports at this time suggesting that the defendant suffers from mental health or substance abuse issues that would mitigate the risks posed by defendant's release, the court is, after considering all of these factors, going to be setting bond at $25 million, cash surety only, with conditions. If the defendant is able to meet those conditions, she must be on a GPS steel cuff tether. She is not to leave the state of Michigan, She is to report her address within 24 hours of, she must report any change of address within 24 hours. There would be stringent daily contact with community corrections as to her whereabouts. She also would be required to have alcohol and drug testing as condition of her release. There would be no contact with the family of the decedent. Any witnesses, she is not to return to McDonald's. And if she is unable to post the $25 million bond, she will remain in custody pending further proceedings. And that concludes this matter for today. We will see you back here, ma'am, on July 23rd at 1 o'clock for your probable cause conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're all set, ma'am.
Meanwhile, outside that jail, Jennifer's family was trying to make sense of an ordinary morning that had taken everything from them. Her daughter Antonia organized a vigil at the McDonald's where her mother had spent 15 years of her life. Family, friends, coworkers, and community members gathered for a balloon release. The restaurant was still closed, but the weight of what happened there had not been lifted. A community trust fund was established for all 6 children, covering housing, daily living needs, and education from the oldest to the youngest. A GoFundMe, the Jennifer Harris Legacy Fund, was also set up and reached its goal. The McDonald's owner released a statement saying that violence of any kind was unacceptable in his restaurants, and that the matter was being taken extremely seriously. Macomb County Prosecutor Peter Lucido called it an absolutely senseless and heartbreaking tragedy. On July 23, 2025, Afeni appeared for what was scheduled to be a probable cause conference. Her defense attorney made an unexpected request. He asked the court to refer Afeni for a competency and criminal responsibility evaluation. He cited his observations from reviewing the case materials and from his own interactions with her as the basis. Afeni herself objected to the referral, but Judge Galen approved it anyway. All proceedings were paused while evaluators assessed whether Afeni understood the charges against her and was capable of assisting in her own defense. The evaluation took several months. A review hearing was held in early September, while the assessment was still ongoing. Then, on September 17, 2025, the report was issued that Afeni Badu Muhammad was found competent to stand trial. On October 8, 2025, both the defense and the prosecution appeared before Judge Galen and stipulated to that finding. Prosecutor Lucido released a statement following the ruling, saying that the finding ensured Afeni could now be held accountable through the proper legal process. The preliminary examination was set for November 14, 2025. 6 witnesses were scheduled to testify. The hearing started with tension already present. There had been an altercation involving members of Jennifer's family in the gallery before proceedings formally began. Witnesses took the stand one by one. Devontae Pace described what he saw from the drive-thru. Luke Moreno, the delivery driver, described Afeni walking past him through the back entrance and telling him calmly that she worked there. McDonald's manager Deborah McMillan and co-worker Kashana Turnage both described the morning's events: the clocking out incident, the confrontation, the moments that followed. Detective Lieutenant Hollish took the stand and walked through the interrogation. The prosecution then played the surveillance footage. Jennifer Harris's 17-year-old daughter Antonia was sitting in that courtroom, watching the footage of her mother's final moments on a screen in a public hearing room. Antonia got up and walked out. She went to her car and she came back with a knife. Police stopped her in the lobby of 38th District Court. She was tackled and taken into custody. The judge and Afeni were temporarily moved from the courthouse for their safety. They returned after the situation was contained. The other members of Jennifer's family was barred from the courthouse for the rest of that day's hearing. Prosecutors confirmed they were considering charges against Antonia. The hearing resumed, but the public was excluded.
We're going to go now to our other top story today: chaos inside an Eastpointe courtroom as the suspect in July's deadly McDonald's stabbing faced a judge. The victim's daughter tackled by police after leaving the courtroom and allegedly returning with a knife. But the hearing continued with prosecutors revealing how and why Afeni Muhammad allegedly stabbed her manager to death. 7 News Detroit reporter Ruta Alcenaida inside the courtroom. She's showing us what happened today and what comes next.
It was a dramatic day here at District Court in Eastpointe as prosecutors played the surveillance video of what they say is Afeni Muhammad killing Jennifer Harris. It's that video that set off a chain reaction and left Jennifer Harris's 17-year-old daughter behind bars. This right here is video of the chaotic aftermath of the 17-year-old daughter of Jennifer Jama Harris, who was tackled and arrested by police in the lobby of 38th District Court. Eastpointe police say she brought a knife into the courthouse after seeing the disturbing surveillance video of her mother's murder in court. Harris's family was then barred from returning to the courtroom for the rest of Friday's hearing. Prosecutors releasing new video on what they say is 26-year-old Afeni Muhammad, her face covered with some sort of mask, a large knife hidden under her arm, walking into the back of the Eastpointe McDonald's on July 10th, where she and her manager Jennifer Harris worked. Prosecutors say Muhammad was sent home earlier that day by Harris for slacking off. She later returned, allegedly stabbing Harris at least 13 times.
Even though Jennifer Harris had collapsed on her back, bleeding, the defendant intended to finish the job on the ground.
You can see in this interrogation video where Muhammad shows investigators exactly how she stabbed the victim, saying she felt no remorse because Harris constantly, quote, bullied her at work.
I feel better.
Prosecutors say the only reason the attack stopped is because Good Samaritan Devontae Pace, who was in the drive-thru and saw everything, fired a warning shot towards the attacker.
I guess it would be a warning shot because she didn't get hit, but it definitely was towards her. And I didn't mind shooting her, so I was shooting at her.
Judge Kathleen Galen finding enough probable cause to order Muhammad to stand trial, so she will be back in court December 2nd. As for Harris's daughter, who is accused of bringing that knife to court, prosecutors are considering charges for her actions in court. In Eastpointe, I'm Ruta Alcenaida, 7 News Detroit.
After the witnesses and the interrogation footage, Judge Galen delivered her findings. Count 1. First-degree premeditated charges. Count 2. Carrying a dangerous weapon with unlawful intent. Afeni Badu Muhammad was bound over to circuit court for trial on both counts. Her next court date was set for December 2nd, 2025, before Judge Mazzarone. Jennifer's coworkers remembered her as someone who showed up every single day, without exception. Her family remembered her as someone who would give everything she had before she considered keeping any of it for herself. These cases spark conversation for a reason. Be the person to offer help if someone needs it. Trust your instincts and don't ignore warning signs. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one on Crime on Buzz. Thanks for watching.